Everybody skull. Break and scrape. Break and scrape. Break and scrape. Break and scrape. Come on. Break and scrape. Break and scrape. Oh, we say yes. I gotta hang. Oh, I gotta hang. Oh, I gotta hang over. I gotta hang over. Yes, I gotta hang. Oh, I gotta hang. Oh, I gotta hang over. I gotta hang over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all feeling the music? We got something y'all like. I want y'all to sing this one with me, all right? So turn your music up. And let me hear you. Let me hear you. Come on. I know you know this. Watch it. Come on. Every other night, I'll do it, call around it. Tell this nice little wife you gotta work it. Hey! Oh, but he go to the bar to catch a few with the boys. Play domino, drink liquor and make noise, yeah. Now understand, boy, you gotta be the king of your house. So make up your mind if you're going mine or mouse. Oh, well, the bartender shot across the room. If I knew it. Oh, and understand it, boy, to tell them I ain't here. Y'all know this one. Come on, sing it. She said, tell her I ain't here. Come on now. Oh, these little children he got, they're crying for their pop. They're crying for their pop. He wouldn't like it if I had to come to the door. Oh, tell her I ain't here. You better come now. Come on, y'all. Break it straight. Let's go. Yeah, higher level. Come on. Hey. Now I knew how to make one no stand for the boy. Tonight's search efforts are halted for a 19-year-old missing at sea. This as a father is gunned down on the streets of the capital. And later, reaction tonight to the Commissioner of Police National Address. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Nawal. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, a desperate search is underway for a 19-year-old who never returned from a boating trip after their boat capsized. It sparked an intense multi-agency rescue operation that has turned up fruitless. So far, our Delano Roker has the latest on this.
Search and rescue efforts for 19-year-old Halen Roll have been halted due to bad weather, according to officials. Meanwhile, a Facebook post purportedly from Halen's mother has sparked concern as she seemingly declared her son's demise. However, Halen's uncle, Martin Roll, tells Eyewitness News the family remains optimistic that the young man will be found.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force, along with family members, we made quite a bit of checks. I had some air support as well. Did some search from like 5:30 this morning up till present time. What happened? We had pulled back a bit on the search due to the weather, inclement weather. It's sort of rough in the area right now.
Halen, along with two others, went on a kayaking expedition when their vessel reportedly capsized. While two of the trio were rescued after swimming to a nearby quay, Halen has yet to be found. Martin Roll explained the area where the boys reportedly capsized, noting the challenging conditions that might have contributed to the incident.
The area up in the Mount Thompson, Ramsey area, which is better known as the Three Sisters, Tabby area. That's that'd be on the north side of Sussex. There's some strong current in between there. The Three Sisters Rock is just off the shore between a key called Duck Key. This is like another mile or so away. So, you could be the best. You could be one of the best swimmers there is. But like I said, the area is It's a very contested area with different type of mining and shops in them areas.
The two survivors have been identified as 19-year-old Dacario Outen and Brandon Ramming, who is believed to be in his 20s. Despite the uncertainty, Martin Rowland volunteers are maintaining hope and continuing to work together to locate Hayden.
Right now, there's a bit of tight lip on something for right now, but however, this stage now would probably be switched from missing person to recovery, like that. And it isn't a good news. Any family member, any family want to hear, any parent or family want to hear at this time, it's been from yesterday, maybe around 2-3 o'clock yesterday. It's a long time to be missing, especially at sea. We're not giving up. We could continue to look for the weather subside a bit. We just go back out there.
Meanwhile, Dacario Outen's mother, Nakara Reed, shared her perspective on the ordeal, offering words of comfort and support to Haylen's family as they face this difficult time.
We Sunday didn't take the little kayak out for a ride, but I don't know. I don't know if the weather switched on them because the weather changed a little bit. I don't know what really happened. Before I got to the zoo, I was just lost because I was just trying to figure out what's going on. Saying that they found the boys. They had the clinic. I got ready. Went to the clinic. When they reached there, so these two boys. I said, which two? They said, Dacario and Brandon. Well, they allowed me to see them. They said, oh, they dealing with them right now. You have to wait. But at the same time, I was like sad and lost because I know what the other mother could feel because I'm a mother, like I say, I'm a mother. So I know what the other mother feeling.
As the search efforts continue, the community is rallying together, hoping for a positive outcome, despite the challenges posed by the weather. Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, on to news from the crime beat tonight. A father was shot and killed in the Market Street area last night as investigators link a business establishment to several murders that have taken place within that community. Arlington Ritchie Jr. was on scene last night and filed this report.
A business establishment in the Market Street area is seemingly the nexus of an increase in criminal activity in the area, according to authorities. Officer in charge of the South Central Division, Chief Superintendent Dwight Smith, making this revelation on the scene of the country's latest murder, where a 26-year-old father of one was shot and killed on Sunday night.
We understand that there may be a business place that may be causing this issue for us, and so we tend to look further into that.
The victim, unofficially identified as Ciron Barr, was reportedly ambushed by a lone gunman in the area of West End Avenue and Market Street, marking the country's 114th murder for the year. But before that, a double shooting occurred on October 26, claiming the life of a male, marking the 99th murder of the year, and on June 10th, another man shot dead, bringing the murder count to 54, all just steps from one another. Eyewitness News sought to gain clarity on what type of business establishment authorities are referring to.
Business establishment, care to say illegal activity
Not
you're suspecting?
Well, at this point.
Barr's loved one, who wished to remain anonymous, spoke to reporters while on scene, reacting to the tragedy.
When I came around and saw that was him on the ground, my heart sank in my stomach. It was unbelievable.
Ironically, the woman was just steps from Barr when the gunman opened fire. She recalled that daunting moment.
I heard approximately about 20 to 25 shots. I was about to pull out, and actually I thought they were shooting at me. I just put the pedal in the metal and I just speed up. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't do anybody anything. So where are these shots coming from?
Smith says patrol officers received reports via ShotSpotter technology.
On their arrival, they met a male just lying in an open yard on the side of a business establishment.
Here's what authorities say they know at this time.
When he exited the vehicle, he was approached by a male in dark clothing who was armed with a high-powered weapon. He discharged multiple rounds at the victim. The victim ran from that location and he collapsed in a nearby open yard.
The eyewitness account noted she unfortunately knew Barr would not survive the shooting.
His eyes was fixed, so I knew that he was not going to make it. It looked as if he picked up a lot of shots.
The woman said this murder hit home for her.
See that young man every day. He call me Annie. Every time he see me, he like, Annie, you okay?
Smith says the recent fatal gunfire in the community has left police on high alert.
Certainly, we have beef up our mobile patrol. We are continuously patrolling and stop and search.
A manhunt has been unleashed for the suspect as he made his escape in a white Nissan Juke traveling south on Market Street before turning off on Bahamas Avenue. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, in a national address nearly 24 hours ago, the country's police chief promising to root out corruption that is said to have infiltrated the Royal Bahamas Police Force. His address coming at a critical time when some might say the integrity of the force is in the balance after a senior police officer and other Bahamians were recently indicted on drug and gun conspiracy charges in the United States. Our Jose Etienne joining me live in studio to further discuss. Jose?
Janea, after waiting with bated breath, thousands of Bahamians tuned in to Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez's address on Sunday evening, as it was the first time he publicly addressed the nation since an explosive United States indictment against law enforcement officers, which aggrieved Bahamians say brought shame to the police force and the entire country. Fernandez admits that the allegations are embarrassing, to say the least, but he's promising to right those wrongs.
This culture of corruption that's infiltrated the Royal Bahamas Police Force did not happen overnight, but from today, we will redouble our efforts to stamp it out.
Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez vowing to address breaches within the Royal Bahamas Police Force and to restore the public's eroding trust in the organization on the heels of a United States indictment against Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis and other Bahamians that exposed acts of alleged corruption.
I therefore propose the immediate implementation of an encrypted, anonymous whistleblower platform. It will allow officers and citizens to report wrongdoing without fear or retaliation.
That's one of the reform measures being used to crack down on officers who may be corrupt.
I am also proposing mandatory annual integrity testing for all senior officers and mandatory financial disclosure for ranks at Chief Superintendent and above.
That proposal comes as the indictment alleged that in October 2023, Curtis received approximately $10,000 in bribe payments for an upcoming cocaine shipment in country. And it's also alleged that Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, another senior officer facing corruption allegations, was seeking at least $100,000 in exchange for giving immunity to an alleged gang leader who was implicated in a $1 million money heist last year.
Any individual who has departmental responsibility should be subject to unexplained wealth orders.
Among those reform measures is securing additional resources to investigate acts of alleged corruption.
I will formally request significant increase funding from the Ministry of National Security to expand anti-corruption investigations.
Authorities also devising a plan to better scrutinize the characters of individuals seeking enrollment on the force.
In the past, several incidents of character reference provided by members of the public were simply untrue. Moving forward, I propose to publish the names of shortlist recruits in the newspaper for public feedback.
And for those police officers who may be senior in rank,
I am proposing that force undergo mandatory annual ethics training.
But what about steps the police chief will take to look into the allegations levied against Curtis that the indictment says allegedly happened since May 2021?
I have already spoken with former Commissioner of Police, Paul Rule. I intend to contact former Commissioner Anthony Ferguson. I intend to reach out to former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis and former Minister of National Security Marvin Deems.
The indictment also implicates a high-ranking Bahamian politician who Curtis named to United States prosecutors. It's alleged that the politician in question sought a $2 million payment to facilitate a cocaine trafficking scheme.
Nobody knows. We therefore discourage people from calling any names from the current and previous administration.
Now, Janelle, some additional key takeaways from last night's address suggest that no prime minister, national security minister, or police commissioner dating back to 2021 to now knew about the alleged drug trafficking activity. Fernando, who became commissioner in 2022, also seemed blindsided by the allegations, but he says his task at hand is simply trying to figure out how did the alleged cocaine and gun trafficking ring reportedly operate since 2021 and was not suspected on the radar by any of the powers that be from then to now. Reporting live in studio, I'm Jose Etienne, sending it back to you, Janelle.
Well, Free National Movement Chair Dr. Dwayne Sands slamming Police Commissioner Clayton Fernando's recent national address, dismissing it as a public relations exercise. Dr. Sands is questioning the commissioner's leadership, stating that Fernando has yet to prove to the opposition and the public that he has effective oversight of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. The F&M chairman's remarks came in the wake of serious corruption allegations involving senior police officers, including accusations of facilitating drug trafficking to the United States.
Yesterday's address by the Commissioner of Police revealed a stark contradiction. The Commissioner of Police admitted a culture of corruption. At the same time, the PLP chairman, Fred Mitchell, has been denying a culture of corruption. Fred is continuing to play games of political survival, on the one hand criticizing the U.S., but not acknowledging any responsibility within the Bahamas, because he's in full-blown panic mode, because he figured the PLP could lose. But Bahamians have lost faith in the commissioner. They don't believe that he should continue in his role as commissioner. And the leader of the opposition has called for the commissioner's resignation after two more senior officers have been indicted. This commissioner of police has failed to reduce the murder rate. He has failed to investigate and report on allegations of corruption. And you know, commissioners of police don't give addresses. This was a public relations stunt.
Well, the tide is beginning to turn into that investigation into the murder of Giovanni Roll, who was killed back in June of this year. While no one has appeared before the courts for his murder, the man in question was recently listed in that New York Supreme Court indictment, adding a new wrinkle to the investigations. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details on this.
Donald Ferguson, also known as Billy, was reportedly the sole individual questioned by police in connection with the murder of 38-year-old Giovanni Roll, who was shot and killed near the airport on Father's Day of this year, marking the country's 57th murder. Despite the questioning, Ferguson was released without charges. Ferguson, however, is no stranger to law enforcement scrutiny. He is among 11 Bahamian men indicted by U.S. authorities for drug trafficking. According to court documents, Ferguson is identified as a Bahamian pilot working closely with another defendant accused of transporting drug proceeds by air to and from the Bahamas. These revelations raised eyebrows within local law enforcement, particularly after it emerged that Ferguson, questioned in Roll's murder, is now a central figure in the U.S. indictment. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando confirmed that this connection has sparked renewed interest in the case.
The indictment further mentions Donald Frederick Ferguson II, who was previously questioned as a person of interest in the killing of Giovanni Roll.
Adding to the intrigue, following Roll's murder, Ferguson was arrested at the Lynden Pinland International Airport's domestic terminal, which falls under the oversight of Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis. Curtis, too, has been implicated in the U.S. courts, further linking the two men. Fernando noted that these recent developments have compelled investigators to revisit the details surrounding Roll's murder.
His connection in this case, alongside Chief Superintendent Curtis, raises new questions that we are actively pursuing as part of our expanded investigation.
In an exclusive interview with Eyewitness News earlier this year, Roll's sister, Melanie Roll Hilton, expressed frustration over Ferguson's release, describing it as a major disappointment to their grieving family.
We have also learned that the suspect has since been released. This has been most upsetting to Giovanni's village, which comprises persons both domestically and internationally.
Sources close to the investigation reveal that Roll named his alleged killer to police moments before succumbing to his injuries. While this revelation may have guided the initial investigation, Fernandez says the case has now shifted in a new direction, leaving much about the prior suspect shrouded in secrecy. With the investigation taking new turns and international connections at play, questions remain about Ferguson's role, Curtis' involvement, and how these cases intersect. Authorities promise continued updates as they expand their inquiries.
For now, we only know what is outlined in the indictment.
Billboards resembling this one directly behind me with the face of Giovanni Roll and an updated reward near the New Providence Highway is posted throughout numerous central locations here in the capital as his village attempts to gain the attention of the wider Bahamian public and motorists as they say they will continue to advocate to bring his killer to justice as they have lost the matriarch to their family. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard promising to introduce legislation that will not allow executive appointments of armed forces to be influenced by political affiliation if the electorate turns over to the government, to his administration in the upcoming general election. Linton Ritchie has the details on this.
Good evening, Janea. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard voicing strong sentiments on the leadership of our armed forces, specifically the Royal Bahamas Police Force, as the organization found itself in the middle of continuous controversy for the year. Pintard spoke out yesterday at the Free National Movement headquarters, noting in his view appointments at the senior level of our national security branches are political appointments, and under a government run by the FNM, that narrative will be changed.
We will end the political appointments of heads of the uniform branches.
A promise coming from the leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard. He says if the Free National Movement is elected to govern, it will give specific focus to ruling the armed forces with an iron fist. His comments come as the leadership of the armed forces are under fire and are currently under a microscope after a number of law enforcement officers have been found on the other side of the law, sparking heated debate as to whether high-ranking positions within these law enforcement agencies should be political appointees. The police force is currently suffering a black eye to its public image among the electorate, and a most recent federal indictment handed down by a New York Supreme Court has only added salt to an already open wound. Following that indictment, Prime Minister Philip Davis made this promise to Bahamians.
The tree will be shaken until every bad apple falls.
In 2019, the then Assistant Commissioners of the RBPF, Clayton Fernandez and Lehman Delaveau, were instructed to take their acclimated vacation leave under the previous Minister Turnquest administration. That move ignited controversy and a lawsuit. At the time, the then opposition Progressive Liberal Party, led by Davis, accused the FNM of, open quote, purging the Royal Bahamas Police Force of PLPs. Fast forward to the general election of 2021, the Davis-led PLP won, and shortly after that victory, the Office of the Attorney General settled the lawsuit, and Fernandez and Delaveau received an undisclosed cash settlement and were posted to the offices of Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner, respectively. Now, Pintard says should the FNM win the next general election, his party has legislation drafted to remove political involvement in the selection of law enforcement leadership.
They are not prepared to shake the tree so that bad apples could fall. Because there are some apples that they like where they are.
Pintard continued by levying heavy allegations concerning the relationship between the Prime Minister and the top brass of the police force.
That sets out basic qualifications for the senior leadership positions in the security agencies that will require an open application and regimented and rigorous interview process for the prospective candidates.
However, Pintard says that in his view, the force is not meeting the standard expected by Bahamians.
The Prime Minister emphasized that he wanted his people in place because he has confidence in them, he knows their track record, and they will be able to get the job done. He has the team that he desires. but the country does not have the results we need.
Despite the noise in the market, Prime Minister Davis asserts that he is taking the allegations levied against those in senior positions seriously.
I will meet with the leadership of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to discuss the allegations detailed in the indictment. The leadership of this organization must understand the gravity of this moment and the immediate need to restore the integrity of our institutions.
Now, Janea, Commissioner Clayton Fernanda, predecessor Paul Roll, spoke out back in 2022, weeks before his retirement, on a local talk show, emphasizing the importance of not allowing political polarization to interfere in the organization. Those comments came on the heels of the controversial lawsuit being settled and Fernanda appointed to the top chair of the RBPF. For now, I'm Linton Ritchie Jr. reporting live in studio, sending it back to you, Janea.
Thanks so much for that report, Linton. Meantime, this just in from the courts. Police Corporal Dennis Stirrup will be prosecuted after a coroner's jury recommended a manslaughter charge in the shooting death of an unarmed schoolboy some 7 years ago. Stirrup fatally shot 15-year-old Gino Finley Jr. after he reportedly dropped his gun during a police pursuit back on May 23rd of 2017. Now, according to court dockets, Finley was a 10th grade student of the R.M. Bailey High School. He was a suspect in an armed robbery at the QVC Pharmacy on Prince Charles Drive. Now, Stirrup was committed to stand trial when he was handed a voluntary bill of indictment papers during a brief appearance in court today. Now, for more information on this, you can log on to our website, ewnews.com. Meantime, in the coming days, the Boundaries Commission is set to meet an important step in the road to preparations for the 2026 general elections. The question is if any changes will be recommended to the existing constituency boundaries and what impact, if any, there will be on the permanent voter registry. Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Arthur Taylor revealed that the electoral boundaries review occurs every 5 years, all in an effort to ensure a fair distribution of voters. In the department's 2021 report, they found that there were 3 constituencies that had more than 6,000 registered voters, while 5 had fewer than 5,000. At the time, the commission recommended that each constituency should have around 5,000 voters, give or take up to 500. Now, there are a total of 39 constituencies across the country.
Making any adjustments to the existing boundary lines, they will get in touch with us and tell us what is happening and whatever have you, and it'll be our job to make the adjustments. So you would not be having to come in to make any changes to your card. We'll make the change and just alert you to the fact that you are now, if you were in polling division number 7 in Engliston, you will now move to Marathon, whatever have you, if that is a change that's going to take place. That's how we'll do it. You don't have to come in and do anything special unless we contact you and let you know we need to see you for something. That's it. You just leave it to us. They tell us what they want to do. We facilitate it, and then we advise the public by contacting them. It is 194,000. That's 194,175 persons. Family Islands total collectively 28,714. Grand Bahama is 31,228 persons, and New Providence 134,233 as of today.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the IR News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, health officials speak about HIV and AIDS prevention. We've got that story coming up. And later tonight, a high honor being conferred today. We've got the details right after this break.
This Christmas, stay connected through all the family traditions. Holidaying is unwrapping gadgets, gigs, and gift cards. Sign up for a $64.99 or higher postpaid plan and get a free smartphone. 3 gigs of bonus data for 3 months and a chance to win a $100 gift card. We've got you covered with the ultimate postpaid deals. For more postpaid offers, visit us online at bdcbahamas.com.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
For carpets, bed sheets, and bath mats, there's a place I know. For shower curtains, comforters, and window curtains, only one place to go. Fixing your home or automotive, that's no fuss. We'll put a smile on your face, come and shop with us. For all you need and more, shop at AID for Christmas.
Dive into premium flavor with the new KFC Saucy Nuggets. Hand-breaded, juicy, and 100% real. Step your flavor game up with 8 pieces of our premium white meat KFC Nuggets. Sauced in your choice of one of 5 KFC sauces. Stinging honey garlic, guava barbecue, mango habanero, Korean barbecue, or signature barbecue. Do whatever the crunch you want with all 8 pieces of our new KFC Saucy Nuggets for just $7.95. KFC Saucy Nuggets Strip. It's finger-licking good.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Guess who's driving?
Guess who's driving?
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All is calm and all is bright. It's the holiday season, keep the spirits high. All is calm on a silent night. Feel the spirit of Christmas, such a peaceful time. Sing joy to the world.
This Christmas, stay connected through all the family traditions. Holidaying is unwrapping gadgets, gigs, and gift cards. Sign up for a $64.99 or higher postpaid plan and get a free smartphone. 3 gigs of bonus data for 3 months and a chance to win a $100 gift card. We've got you covered with the ultimate postpaid deals. For more postpaid offers, visit us online at bdcbahamas.com.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
For carpets, bed sheets, and bath mats, there's a place I know. For shower curtains, comforters, and window curtains, only one place to go. Fixing your home or automotive, that's no fuss. We'll put a smile on your face, come and shop with us. For all you need and more, shop at AID for Christmas.
Dive into premium flavor with the new KFC Saucy Nuggets. Hand-breaded, juicy, and 100% real. Step your flavor game up with 8 pieces of our premium white meat KFC nuggets. Sauced in your choice of one of 5 KFC sauces. Stinging honey garlic, guava barbecue, mango habanero, Korean barbecue, or signature barbecue. Do whatever the crunch you want with all 8 pieces of our new KFC Saucy Nuggets for just $7.95. KFC Saucy Nuggets Strip. It's finger-licking good.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Guess who's driving?
Guess who's driving?
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You'll be getting the cheapest tonight at Esso, $5.38. Shell coming in at $5.37. Rubis, $5.53. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, scientists, they're continuing to make strides in the fight against HIV and AIDS with new advancements in prevention and treatment. According to a medical official within the HIV and AIDS Center, one of the most recent breakthroughs is the rollout of PrEP, which has been described as a game-changing drug. It's proven to be a powerful tool in the prevention of HIV transmission. Laurencia Smith has the details in this report.
December 1st is recognized globally as World AIDS Day. Here at home, efforts are ongoing to raise awareness about the disease. As of September 2024, the AIDS Foundation reports that approximately 4,000 people in the country are living with HIV. However, a clinical medical officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness with the Department of Immunology and Infectious Disease, Dr. Narad Morgan, emphasized that the number can be reduced through various prevention measures, including the use of PrEP.
Pre-exposure prophylaxis. And so that involves taking a pill every day, consistently, because as in all medication, adherence is very important to get the best effect of a medicine, taking it every day to prevent HIV.
Dr. Morgan also highlighted which groups are at high risk of contracting the virus and explained how target prevention efforts can make a significant impact.
We call them serodiscordant couples. One person may be HIV negative, another patient is HIV positive. So the PrEP is for the HIV negative person. Transactional sex workers, right? Persons who transact sex for money, and that's becoming more and more common. Also, men who have sex with men, we call them MSMs. Those are a high-risk group.
Since 2016, PrEP has been available in the country and boasts a 90% success rate when taken consistently, according to Dr. Morgan.
Like any medication, needs to be taken consistently. So adherence is very important in order for it to work. You cannot take it one day and miss 5 days and expect it to work. It has to be taken consistently, right, in order for it to work. And don't forget, PrEP prevents HIV. You can still get STIs if you're on PrEP and you're not using a condom.
In addition to PrEP, Dr. Morgan also mentioned PEP, another critical prevention medication.
Someone has sex, they may have condomless sex, and they are, or the condom can break, and they're very worried. They're unaware of their partner's status. They can take medication to prevent HIV, provided that they present to a healthcare facility or a healthcare provider within 72 hours.
Dr. Morgan strongly encourages individuals to know their HIV status by getting tested regularly and taking the necessary steps to protect themselves. As the World AIDS Day serves as a reminder of the importance of education, prevention, and treatment, health officials will continue their work to reduce the spread of HIV and provide support for those living with the virus. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Florencia. Well, with the uptick in crime and the Bahamas being named in a recent indictment filed by the United States government involving two high-ranking armed law enforcement officials and one unknown high-ranking politician, many Bahamians are left with burning questions surrounding the administration and the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Earlier today, Ardelana Roca took to the streets to get feedback following the commissioner's Sunday night address.
Maybe we need to really restructure our police force and weed out all the bad apples.
That's Randy Forbes, one of many who tuned into Commissioner Fernando's address. Like many others, Forbes seemed unfazed by the commissioner's promises to crack down on corruption, insisting that corruption has been a long-standing issue in the country.
So, growing up, I've heard a lot about corruptions in the force, and for some people it works, and I guess for others, it's a problem.
Other residents shared similar sentiments, expressing doubt about whether the promises made will lead to tangible results.
The commissioner address was kind of broad. Some of the things that he also mentioned is already in law, but it's just not enforced daily.
Meanwhile, some citizens admitted they didn't bother watching the address, citing frustrations over unanswered questions and ongoing concerns.
And that speech what the commissioner did last night, that was a bunch of foolishness. So you can tell me you have a whole department and all of these things is going on and you don't know nothing? I don't believe that.
When asked about their feelings on safety and trust in law enforcement, responses varied, but a prevailing sense of uncertainty emerged.
Well, me personally, I'm not looking for them for protection, but yeah, if I had to rely on them, I think I might have to find other means.
No, I don't feel safe. Well, not really with the police force, with the whole judicial system. Not just the police force. The police force enforces the law, but the judiciary implements and make laws. So the whole judicial system, the whole legal system is corrupt.
I should feel safe in my country, in my home, but even the incident with the lady, she's in her home and she's being raped and killed. Look at a 12-year-old child.
And then if the police are involved, you hear a lot of allegations about police involvement, police corruption involved with these gangs and stuff. And so it's difficult to ascertain whether or not I feel safe. It's like, to be honest, I have to rely on me taking the necessary precautions to ensure my own safety. There are certain other matters that have taken place and you have yet to hear anything about them. And yet this situation, this particular incident happened, but it happened in the U.S. And now it's almost like a reactive move to try to, I don't know if to calm the fears of the Bahamian people, but unfortunately over time, a lot of the trust in the police has been eroded. And in particular, this particular situation, the previous one involving, I think, the Michael Johnson guy, I don't remember the name, but that has elevated a lot of the mistrust that the Bahamian people have for the police. It's very unfortunate. However, like they say, a few bad apples spoil the entire bunch.
Following the U.S. indictment, calls have surfaced for the resignation of Commissioner Fernando and Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe. However, not all residents agree with these demands. Many believe that justice must be served, but are reserving judgment until further developments.
Well, a lot of persons call for the commissioner to be fired. But I don't think he should be fired. I think there should be more transparency in the way things is done in the country, especially justice. Like they say, justice delayed is justice denied. And it seems as only a privileged few really get the real brunt or the real privilege of justice. The poor persons don't really get it.
The police will not police themselves, and the police will certainly not listen to a citizen telling them what they should do. So it's kind of like, I don't even know, but at the end of the day, let the heads roll. If somebody got convicted of doing something and if there's evidence to prove that, then that person needs to face the repercussions for it.
In his address, the commissioner outlined a series of measures aimed at addressing corruption within the police force. These include implementing integrity checks, publicly listing recruits, introducing a whistleblower hotline, and adopting digital record-keeping systems. As the nation grapples with these developments, many Bahamians remain cautiously optimistic, but are awaiting concrete actions to restore public trust. Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Ryan Pinder anchoring down on the government's stance that the countries contributing immensely to disastrous effects on the environment need to do more to reverse these outcomes. Senator Ryan Pinder speaking at the International Court of Justice during the advisory proceedings on the obligation of states regarding this issue.
In the Bahamas, we see it in the mental health of our citizens. We see it in the repairing of roads, utilities, vital infrastructure. We see it in the lost workdays of our people. We see it in the learning loss of our children when they can't go to school. We see it as a revolving door of preparation, impact, and recovery. And then we reset that cycle. We prepare again, we have an impact, and then we recover again. And despite the hijacking that we witnessed at COP29, climate treaties such as the Paris Agreement make clear that developed states have obligations to provide financial and technical assistance to vulnerable states such as the Bahamas.
Pinder also noting the disastrous effects climate change has had on two of the country's most important industries, tourism and marine resources, insisting that the failure of these countries to move could pose an existential threat to the future of the Bahamas.
80% of our land lies less than 1.5 meters above sea level. 80%. A sea level that is rising at an alarming rate, and they will continue to rise, presenting an unprecedented challenge to the very survival of our nation. We are experiencing the effects due to decades of neglect by industrial countries. But long before our territory is submerged, we will feel the impact. We will feel coastal erosion. We will feel the flooding impact, salinization of our freshwater resources, and displacement of our vulnerable communities. By 2050, the Bahamas is projected to lose nearly 60% of its shoreline, the largest loss of land projected in the entire Caribbean region. By 2100, we will lose all of our sandy beaches in the Bahamas, all because warning signs have been ignored for generations.
Well, it was a momentous occasion for the Baroness of Scotland of Astal. Baroness Patricia Janet Scotland was awarded the Honour of Excellence by Governor General Cynthia Pratt on Sunday morning at Government House. Her Excellency Janet Scotland gave thanks to numerous government officials and highlighted her journey with the country.
So I want to say thank you to the Prime Minister for his amazing words. I want to say thank you to my dear friend and comrade in arms, the Foreign Minister, Fred Mitchell. I want to say thank you to the former Prime Minister, Christie, because you started all of this. At times it's been a tumultuous journey, but it has been a journey buoyed up by honor, integrity, friendship, courage, and determination that was grown here in the Bahamas. Because no matter how one struggles, no one can do it alone. And without friendship, without support, without prayer, and fortitude and determination, we all fall. So this honor means a huge amount to me.
Prime Minister Philip Davis bringing remarks commending Her Excellency Patricia Janet Scotland on her impact of her life's work on the country.
This medal, the Honor of Excellence, reflects the essence of what leadership can and should be. A commitment to something greater than oneself. Brown of Scotland, your journey from Dominica to the world stage reminds us that greatness is not determined by the size of one's origin, but by the depth of one's conviction. Your leadership as Secretary General of the Commonwealth has been a study in courage and responsibility. You carry the weight of a region that often stands at the mercy of forces beyond its control. You ensured that our vulnerabilities were not hidden away, but brought forward as central to the story of humanity's shared future. When Hurricane Dorian devastated parts of the Bahamas, the world was reminded of the fragility of small island nations in the face of climate change. Yet, you reminded us that fragility does not define us.
So to come in Eyewitness News tonight, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas downtown. We've got the first look, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Bahamas. We understand your business needs. We remain dedicated to giving you the best experiences for your business's growth and development. Reliable internet speeds for your customers' stress-free online shopping experience. Secure landline connections so your customers and team can always reach you. Exclusive add-ons like website and online store to put your brand on the map as the best. Find more at business.btcbahamas.com.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Janae's Christmas Wonderland with the best selection and prices in town is open under the Big Tent. Get 20 to 50% off selected Christmas decorations. Restrictions apply. Trees in pink, frosted green, or white in a variety of sizes up to 15 feet. LED and laser lights, tree ornaments, lighted angels, and Santa tree toppers. Bright, unique, and lively colored Christmas balls, garlands, wreaths, ribbons, bows, snowflakes, puffs, and blankets, and much more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. WhatsApp 817-3295.
All is calm
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Well, just in time for the holiday season, the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony was held last night under the theme Crafting Our Legacy, Culture, Creativity, and Community. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg bringing remarks at the ceremony, highlighting the holiday season, emphasizing that it should be a time of togetherness.
I stand before you today at this beautiful occasion, the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony and the launch of the National Cultural Heritage Month. This is a time of the year that brings us together, allowing us to reflect on the blessings we cherish and to celebrate the rich cultural traditions that makes us who we are as Bahamians. As we gather to illuminate our views with this magnificent Christmas tree, let it serve as a beacon of hope, joy, and unity. Christmas is a time for kindness, love, and compassion. It is an opportunity for us to extend our hands and hearts to one another.
Boleg also giving this charge to the Bahamian community in this holiday season, challenging them to keep the meaning of Christmas in Bahamian culture alive.
I encourage each of you to embrace the spirit of giving, not just through gifts, but through acts of kindness, patience, and understanding towards one another. In these challenging times, our sense of community and compassion will guide us towards brighter days. Furthermore, as we celebrate our rich and diverse cultural heritage this month, I urge each family to engage in cultural practices that nurture our national identity.
Well, our Laurentia Smith is back from vacation. She has the latest with a check on sports. Good evening, Laurentia.
Good evening, Janaea. Well, I would say cue the cowbells as the national gymnastic team making some history over the weekend in Jamaica at the first ever Carifta Gymnastic Championship, bringing home a number of heavy hardware. I'll tell you more about it straight ahead in sports.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
They say they want Oasis. I got you. Wait, what?
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, Lord of glory, Lord of love.
I do that. When your paint's this good, it's not just work. It's a celebration of life.
Bahamas, get ready for an unforgettable night this holiday season. On Saturday, December 28th, we're bringing the love back to the city. It's a night of rhythm and blues featuring the one and only K. Michelle.
What up, y'all? It's your girl K. Michelle. December.
It's a different kind of Christmas, but everything is here to bring a smile upon your face. That's what the season brings now. See, Christmas time is the time for your family
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurentia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports tonight from the Gymnastics Federation. At the first ever Carifta Gymnastics Championship, the Bahamas showcased their talents, finishing third overall behind Trinidad and Tobago and the host nation of Jamaica over the weekend. The 23-member squad returned home with 22 medals, 4 gold, 7 silver, and 11 bronze. The team's coach, Richard Cunningham, expressed his pride in the gymnasts.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. The girls went out there and they did what they were taught, and they performed excellently, especially under the pressure of having so many children from the other neighboring Caribbean countries. They are competing in the same categories. I pray that those parents that have children that have expressed interest in doing the sport now realize that, okay, gymnastics is taking off in the Bahamas as it's been here for years, but it hasn't been nationally recognized. So I'm very grateful that these children would have attended the Carifta and they would have definitely shined their lights really bright. And I pray that the government, as well as the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, even though they've been a really great help, I pray that they also take it serious and lend funding into creating a national gymnastics training center here for our competing athletes.
Congratulations to all of the gymnasts from us here at Eyewitness Sports. Meantime, in some exciting news from the basketball court. Sharpshooter and Golden State Warriors guard Buddy Hield rapidly climbing up the all-time three-point list this season, with the latest legend he passed being Jason Kidd. After passing Dirk Nowitzki on Wednesday, Hield sank 2 3-pointers on Saturday against the Phoenix Suns to claim the 17th overall spot. Hield was traded to GSW this past season. Notwithstanding coming off the bench in some 17 games this season, he is averaging just around 15.3 points and 3.5 rebounds, and shooting around 46% from the field and 43% beyond the arc, and 90% from the free throw line. Well, congratulations to Buddy from all of us here at Eyewitness Sports. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurentia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
From sinking last year to rising to the top this year, congratulations to Bach 2, the 2024 Best of the Best champ.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Who this fella is, man? Boy, I don't even think this boat registered. My lord.
Finkston. Finkston.
Ernestine?
Finkston, you daydreaming again?
Guess who I just been best of the best?
In what?
In this same boat, Buckto. I gotta go back to Madrid because I just got my award and this pretty young girl is supposed to give you some champagne.
Finkston, you gotta catch yourself.
Man, Ernestine, more to where I gotta get ready for the best of the best regatta. I'm coming to the Montague Four Shores from December 5th to December 8th. The top sailors from around the Man, Ernestine, you wanna see me talking?
I'm talking.
With the best delicious local dishes and live performances. And guess what? I can be there shaking a leg.
Shaking what leg?
Ernestine, her shop.
Marlin Marine and Generac have the standby generator that fits your needs. Conserve power by using 1 or 2 circuits during an outage with a 7.5 kilowatt. Manage your power usage by controlling the circuits you use during a power outage with a 10 to 18 kilowatt standby. But why just power part of your house? Never lose power again and get whole home protection with a 22 kilowatt and up Generac home standby generator. When the power goes out, everything comes on and stays on. Give us a call at 393-7873. Marlin Marine and Generac, giving you power on land and sea. Power your devices wherever you go with Marlin Marine and Generac. On the construction site, on the boat, or anywhere outside, take power with you with Generac portable generators. Our rugged GP series of portables come with manual and electric starts and can run up to 10 hours on 1 tank of gas at 50% load. So bring the blender with you on the next fishing trip. Give us a call at 393-7873 and never lose power again with Generac. Marlin Marine, giving you power on land and sea.
Cashmas time, here we go. Mercy's doing it big this year. Cashmas time with extra chair. 12 days of merry winnings from your friends at Island Bay. Friends banks we trust, yeah, we know. Cash first time, here we go. Prizes and lots of dough. This Christmas, come catch a lick with 20 on your account, quick, quick, quick. And you can win some awesome stuff at Percy's Island Game. Yeah.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
For us this Monday, but coming up in Beyond the Headlines, Shanique Miller is back. She has an exciting show tonight. Is one that you don't want to miss. That's coming up in Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Public junior and senior high schools are being outfitted with metal detector scanners. The announcement was recently made at a joint presser by the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with the Royal Bahamas Police Force's School Policing Unit.
Today, we launch an aspect of that equipment that we purchased, which is the handheld scanners. The government have invested in those to ensure that our school environment is safe. We don't want to see what is playing out in other communities around the world playing out in our schools. So we're going to do everything in our power to ensure that.
This initiative is a very great one. These metal detectors will enhance our security. We already have overlapping layers of security at all the schools. This will be an enhancement. Okay? The metal detectors will also act or enhance our defense of school campuses. We also would look at these metal detectors assisting us with detecting, okay, any person who may want to come onto school campuses to bring any illegal contraband.
Education Director Dominique McCartney Russell outlines a number of other ways the ministry maintains safe campuses.
I thank Dr. Hannah and Mr. Ferguson particularly for the SRO program, because those officers also provide diversion opportunities, prevention programs, and mentoring for some of our children.
See, I tell you, I ain't got nothing. Hey. I'm Madama Williams for Ed Talk.
What you doing? Where you at? We got a code that you can crack. With Island Luck, you can win. $1 million. 7 digits, 0 to 9. You could redeem your promo points online. You should be guessing and not stressing. Could be $1 million in your possession. No need to question what's happening. We just made up some games to try to get you some money that'll make it alright. So if you wanna change your life, crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking, y'all. Crack the code and stop joking. If you guess the numbers right, no more stressing. We'll be ballin' tonight, baby. We can make your dreams come true. Play Crack the Code today. Win $1 million only on Island Luck.
Get ready to win Lucky Bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down.
The boy hard, beating so hard, I will be hard. What here?
I'm looking for my first contestant to ride in the Lucky Taxi.
To walk in the taxi, you got to do the Lucky Walk, bro. Boom. Thanks. Man, thank you, sir. 85 times 2 is how much, brother? You only win $170, brother.
I never expected to win as much as I win.
Bang along. Very excited when the gentleman picked me to ride inside the taxi.
So if I had to choose a game that would stay, it would be Island of Taxi.
You could be next on the Island Lucky Taxi.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Public junior and senior high schools are being outfitted with metal detector scanners. The announcement was recently made at a joint presser by the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with the Royal Bahamas Police Force's School Policing Unit.
Today, we launch an aspect of that equipment that we purchased, which is the handheld scanners. The government have invested in those to ensure that our school environment is safe. We don't want to see what is playing out in other communities around the world playing out in our schools. So we're going to do everything in our power to ensure that.
This initiative is a very great one. These metal detectors will enhance our security. We already have overlapping layers of security at all the schools. This will be an enhancement. Okay? The metal detectors will also act or enhance our defense of school campuses. We also would look at these metal detectors assisting us with detecting, okay, any person who may want to come onto school campuses to bring any illegal contraband.
Education Director Dominique McCartney Russell outlines a number of other ways the ministry maintains safe campuses.
I thank Dr. Hannah and Mr. Ferguson particularly for the SRO program, because those officers also provide diversion opportunities, prevention programs, and mentoring for some of our children.
See, I tell you, I ain't got nothing. Hey.
I'm Madama Williams for Ed Talk.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando acknowledging the culture of corruption that exists at various levels of Bahamian society as the organization he leads, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reels from a series of scandals. The commissioner made the acknowledgement during a national statement last evening. While he did, he also pointed out the case involving the murder of Giovanni Roll, putting into question the entire investigation, given last week's revelations that put senior police officers at the center of a drug investigation by the feds. That highlight got the attention of Roll's family, who have been asking for an update on the murder investigation for months. Tonight, they join me with even more questions, along with their attorney, Jeff Lloyd, and former Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, the family's private investigator. It's all straight ahead for you tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. A lot to get to. First, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez promising to root out corruption. He made the strong statement during a national address last evening, an address that got the attention of the nation. Thousands logging onto various platforms to hear just how the commissioner would address a series of scandals that have rocked the Royal Bahamas police force in recent months, eroding the trust placed in the organization and putting the force under a suspicious light. Bahamians particularly waited to hear the commissioner address the matter involving a senior police officer in the matter of drug smuggling allegations, as well as possession and use of firearms, now a matter before the court in the Southern District of New York. And Fernandez did, agreeing with the recent IDB report that there is a culture of corruption among Bahamians. But it was the mention of the murder investigation of Giovanni Roll on Father's Day of this year that especially caught his family's attention, opening up their painful wound all over again. Well, joining me this evening is Melanie Hilton, Giovanni's sister, LaShawn Bo Green, Giovanni's aunt via Zoom, and Jeff Lloyd, the family's attorney. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you both here. Joining me in studio at the moment, we'll start here with Melanie and, of course, Mr. Lloyd. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
Melanie, I want to ask, when the family heard the commissioner mention Giovanni's name last evening, and that the indictment now puts into question the investigation that you all had questions about to begin with, share the family's reaction.
Shanique, we had so many feelings. It was kind of difficult to just say just one, because from the beginning, from inception, we had so many unanswered questions, and we just really wanted to know what had happened and wanted to seek justice for our brother, the law-abiding and kind person that he was. We couldn't understand what had happened. That those unanswered questions that followed the weeks after his murder, we knew that we needed the assistance of experts. And we just decided that we needed to have an objective party that would help us navigate the situation and to piece together all of the things that were happening. And that is why we engaged Mr. Dames and his team to help us navigate and have an objective party that could help bring some sense to what was happening for us.
Well, where were you getting before that? I mean, it was a shocking news that kind of ripped through the nation early Father's Day morning, a Sunday morning at that. What was police doing or not doing that caused you to have to reach out to Mr. Dames, who we will speak with after the break, and then obviously Mr. Lloyd, who is a family member, but in this capacity, he is the family's attorney?
Like I said, there were a lot of unanswered questions. We couldn't understand how an incident had occurred at the
at the gateway
of our country. Was just we're not able to explain to us what had happened. There must have been CCTV cameras. We just weren't getting the answers that we thought we should get, and we wanted to know and understand. We wanted answers. Like, we just wanted to have the justice that we thought our brother deserved. Mm-hmm. And like I said, knowing the kind of person that he was, this just didn't make sense to us.
Right, and so according to the family, what the family knows, I mean, he is not this type of person to have even been involved in something that perhaps went awry, to have landed him where he unfortunately is this evening.
I've had the opportunity to watch him grow for 38 years into the kind, loving person that he was, and anyone who had the opportunity to know him during his lifetime could attest to his character. He was a wonderful father to his two beautiful children, and he was a God-fearing person. He loved his mother, his family. He was a homebody and very, very recluse. So he did not, go out very much. Everything was home and family. So no, it did not make sense to us.
Now, there was initially a lead that the officers identified immediately, the investigators, and then that soon went cold. That person was dismissed as no longer a person of interest. But then there appeared to be no other direction the investigation was pointed in. What was the family thinking then?
Like I said, we had a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of things that didn't really make sense because, like I said, this was the gateway of our country, and it just didn't make sense that there were no answers. There was a person of interest. It was dismissed pending further investigation, is all we were advised at the time. We didn't have any further information about that.
Nothing at all, even with the $50,000 reward?
Not even with the $50,000 reward. Again, so we knew something was amiss.
Quite interesting. Mr. Lloyd, you are a family member, but you are also this family's attorney. This indictment that pulls together the person who initially was a suspect and a leading police officer stationed in aviation at the airport. How does this paint law enforcement internationally? Before we even talk about the toll it's taken on the family.
Well, Shanique, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, I mean, it's an established fact that we are very disappointed and ashamed as a nation that our country and our law enforcement agency, the primary agency for enforcement of the law in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, is now being tainted, has been tainted by our closest neighbor and our most significant trading partner. So it is a deep a concern to us. And naturally, Bahamians want answers. As you hear Melanie speak this evening, the difficulty and the frustration that this family has suffered is that there has not been the kind of updates from the Royal Bahamas Police Force in a timely fashion. Answers that were expected and requested have not been forthcoming in a way that is satisfactory. And as you understand, that there was the need to engage a private investigator. And even up to this day, according to this moment, we still have an issue with getting the kind of answers and feeling that the police force is advancing this investigation in a way that is satisfactory, not only to this family, but to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
Because as you indicated earlier, this is an incident that ripped through the heart and the mind and the soul of our country on a Father's Day, in an environment where it's, supposedly to be rather a safe place, and against a young man who is just phenomenal in terms of his character and upbringing and the station that he held in life.
I tell you, it's quite heart-wrenching to hear this all over again. Mr. Lloyd, what role, if any, at this point would the Attorney General's office have played, and how would they have moved this investigation forward if they play a role at this point?
Well, they can't. I mean, obviously the Attorney General has to wait for evidence to be brought to its attention so that it can then decide what action it's going to take and give directions to the Director of Prosecutions. And as, again, we have to repeat, unfortunately, that investigation is not as aggressive as we believe it ought to be. We don't believe that the persons and many other persons who could be maybe of an assistance to the police have been questioned or re-questioned, if I can use that term, in a manner which would bring some understanding to the police as to really the fullness of the activity that occurred the night before, the morning of, and the time after. So, it's
so this almost immediately became a cold case?
Well, I wouldn't say immediately, but it certainly has gone cold rather quickly. And again, this is disheartening. And I emphasize again, Shanique, it's not only disheartening to our country, but it's certainly to our family. And I mean, you could imagine how raw the wound is.
Yes.
That something like this, still with my dear cousin and her family now having to go through this all over again, where this has not been resolved, and it doesn't appear as if it's being resolved in a way that is satisfactory to this family, but to the nation. You know, we want to be a country that is law-abiding, that we can feel that the police, whom we repose our trust in, is advancing and carrying on their responsibilities in a way that is professional and without, you know, the possible influence of outsiders.
Is there any confidence, Mr. Lloyd and Melanie, to hear the police commissioner refer last evening to Giovanni and the fact that now this investigation may come up questionable?
Well, it's certainly no confidence to me. I mean, the police, the commissioner is the person responsible for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It is in his lap that this responsibility must fall. And if there is not the satisfaction to this family and to the nation that an investigation has come close to being completed with somebody or some bodies being possibly, you know, charged before the court, well, who else are we to blame? Who else are we to hold accountable and responsible but the head of the Royal Bahamas Police Force? And I'm sure that, you know, Mr. Fernandez is doing the best that he can, but that best in this circumstance simply is not sufficient.
You think he's lacking?
Well, look at the results. I mean, I have all the due respect for the man, but I'm just saying, look at the results. Here is a family 5 months later that is still waiting for there to be a proper and a final conclusion to a matter that really has gripped their hearts and minds and souls and that of the nation. So take a look at the results.
Justin, we can bring in LaShawn. Of course, LaShawn Bowe is the aunt of Giovanni. But Melanie, I want to ask you, is there confidence that now your Giovanni has been mentioned again nationally, this time out of the very mouth of the Commissioner of Police, that listen, wait, this investigation, we can't trust that. We got to perhaps start over, etc. Is the family more confident that it'll begin getting answers?
I wouldn't say that we're more confident, because when trust is broken, it's difficult to repair. But we're going to wait for some action before we can say that. But what I would say is that we are still trusting and hoping and praying that the authorities will do what is needed, what is just, and what is necessary to move this investigation forward.
Do we have LaShawn there, Justin? Because good evening to you, LaShawn. Thank you very much for joining me here on Beyond the Headlines. How are you feeling?
Hi, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas. I am angry. You know, I try to suppress my feelings quite a bit, but this situation is not only devastating to our family and my sister, it causes you to have anxiety. The ongoing crime, the lack of solutions, the fact that Gio was a law-abiding citizen and was assassinated going into work, how predictable was his activities, what is the cause, knowing the motive behind this, and he was not into the same criminal activities or criminal activities at all. So I just want to make that very clear and squash that once and for all. And we would not be here, you would not see his family fighting for him in this way if he was a shady person. I could tell you that matter-of-factly. Gio is the only son of my sister Rosie, who is only a shell of herself since June 16th. And I am here not only fighting for Rosie, I'm fighting for my mother, who is turning over in her grave because of this. And trust me, I do not take this lightly at all. And I hear the commissioner and revisiting the case, but I need to see action.
So
I need to see action, and not
you are
only
not
that.
convinced, LaShawn?
Pardon?
You are not convinced?
I am not convinced. I am a woman of action. Always. Talk is cheap. My mom would say money buy land. I need to see action behind this. He was murdered at the airport, and you tell me not one CCTV is working? And despite us enlisting the services of Mr. Dames, there's only so much that we could request. There are restrictions that only the police could request certain evidence. So I expect now that the police force to go back, well, if they could, to go back and retrace every step. Retrace every step. But not only that, Shanique, and Jeff would pinch me if he could, but there needs to be some type of quality assurance behind every investigative file. I am wondering, one, you didn't see a press conference for Giovanni, did you?
No, I don't recall.
Did you see a press conference for Giovanni? There was one police at the scene that morning when Giovanni was murdered. One police. But the police station is 3 minutes away, if that. 3 minutes walk. So a 30-second drive to where he was murdered. This is serious business, and that's why we buried Giovanni, and I think the next week we had to figure out what we're going to do, because it was obvious. A blind man could see this wasn't going anywhere.
And apparently it's stalled, you know, so the family was right in its assumptions. But talk about the toll it's taken. You mentioned Rosie, Giovanni's mother, his sisters, Melanie sitting right beside me, his other sisters, you who grew up as a sister to Giovanni. Talk about the toll it's taken on the family.
Shanique, we are using sleeping pills. Rosie is depressed. Rosie lost 40 pounds plus. You hear me? How this have me shaking. I am looking around, even though I am remote, I am still looking around and have anxiety because of this. You are going on to your work, outside of your work, and somebody is waiting on you. And not only that, we have to hold other governing bodies accountable, because this isn't the first incident this person was involved in. But a week later, after Gio's incident, or a week or two, they were on the ramp flying. So what does that say?
So you were saying that the entire lot of every organization, entity, etc., must be involved in this investigation, and also
Where do you get your license in the Bahamas? Which body?
I think they're trying to iron that out now, the Civil Aviation Authority. But listen, Melanie, LaShawn, thank you. And the nation feels your pain. Believe me, we're stunned. If you drive around town enough, you will see huge posters of Giovanni as you're holding up his photograph right there.
And Shanique, I can tell you, that speaks to his character. We have a network of friends and family that pool our resources to put together enough money to put those flyers up. His sisters went all over Nassau. You see even in the grocery store, his flyers, right? Yeah. You have a reward going out. We had to ask the police to put it on their Facebook page. There was no bulletin out on the police Facebook page. There was no press conference. There was little investigative work for the visitors and the witnesses. So things like that. I mean, you watch these shows, these criminal shows all the time. So you know what the police do. So it was like a routine for me. And not seeing it, it just made me realize we are not going to get this solved unless we really put feet to the fire.
Mr. Lloyd, Melanie, you will stay with me in the next segment as we speak with Mr. Dames, who is the private investigator in this matter. That the family is engaged. But Mr. Lloyd, where should this family even begin looking next, and what the next step should be after that acknowledgement by Commissioner of Police Fernando last evening?
Well, Shanique, they have already engaged private investigator, former Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, of course, will be in the next segment. But here's a family that cannot even grieve. Their grief has been delayed, and you know the kind of infliction that on their emotional and mental and physical bodies that they are suffering. They've got to be more or less like the police, going after and searching out and seeking how they may be able to bring justice for Gio and his children and our family. So this is incalculable that we would still be at this place 5 months later on for us to be begging, as it were, that there should be something done, and hopefully something will be done. We want to trust the police. We must trust the police.
We have to.
But it is shaken now in a certain respect because of what has now been transpired. And this is personal. It's personal to Jeffrey Lloyd, it's personal to Melanie, it's personal to Rosie, and every member of our family. We are a tight-knit family, all across the board. And now for us to be going through this, I'm here, Melanie's here, and so on, to go through this in a way that just is frustrating, and it's only adding further burden to the grief that we have to carry.
I imagine, we can only imagine, and our thoughts and prayers to the family. When we come back, we are going to be joined by former Minister of National Security, former Deputy Commissioner of Police, Marvin Dames, who is the family's private investigator, to put a number of questions to him. How far has his investigation gotten to this point? And also, remember, the commissioner said he intends to speak with Mr. Dames to ask about that investigation that started in 2021 and when he was minister. We'll ask him about that as well. This is Beyond the Headlines. We're back right after this.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
For carpets, bed sheets, and bath mats, there's a place I know. For shower curtains, comforters, and window curtains, only one place to go. Fixing your home or automotive, there's no fuss. We put a smile on your face, come and shop with us. For all you need and more, shop at AID for Christmas.
Has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you join us. We are speaking with the family of Giovanni Roll, the father of two that was shot multiple times at the LPIA property at a private airport facility there on that compound. On Father's Day, early in the morning, the murder shocked the nation. His family is here speaking about that, and in particular, hearing Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez during his address last evening admit that perhaps, you know, the investigation maybe wasn't given the attention it needed. That's needed just based on what played out nationally and internationally from the FBI and their investigation involving senior police officers last week. And so a lot's going on. We're going to get right back into this discussion. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, former Minister of National Security, former Deputy Commissioner of Police, the family's private investigator, Marvin Dames. Good evening to you, Mr. Dames. It's good to have you here.
Good evening, Shanique. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and of course, Melanie continues to be here with us, but I want to jump right in, Mr. Dames. How far has your investigation gotten you? This family hasn't gotten anywhere in terms of the official investigation by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but you stepped in and is engaged as a private investigator. Where has that gotten you? What have you found out?
Shanique, I was approached by the family months ago, actually not too long after the murder itself. And they requested my assistance in investigating the matter. I just want to touch on what my brother Jeff Lloyd would have said. I decided to take the matter on because of the family themselves. This is a close-knitted family, a family when they sat with me months ago was grieving and in search of answers. Mm-hmm. And so when we took the matter on, we commenced work almost immediately. And we investigated this matter for several months. After our investigations had concluded, but would have reached a point where we felt it was necessary to sit with the commissioner and his investigations team. Mm-hmm. We, at that time, presented a file. Now, our file was about a 3-inch binder with lots of statements.
How thick was the police file?
Well, I can't speak to the police file. I can't speak to that. But one thing I must say that during the course of the investigations, we felt it was necessary to sit with the investigators, the Assistant Commissioner Goodman, who I feel who is in charge of crime now, a very, very decent officer. And we wanted to support, in this case, the police investigations, because as private investigators, our reach is limited to an extent. There are things that the police and only the police can do. Mm-hmm. And so we took a position that we will do as much as we can to collect as much evidence as we can to support whatever the police had been doing. Mm-hmm. When we presented that file to the commissioner, I think it was more than a month ago, the commissioner was gracious enough to have us at a meeting. I attended along with my team of investigators, as well as the family of Giovanni. And we presented the evidence in our file. And we had several copies of the file. And we left a copy with the commissioner and his team. And really the contents of the file itself, as I said before, asked a lot of questions. And I think for us as private investigators, we want to expose as much as we can, mm-hmm. all right? That will enable the police to compare what they would have done mm-hmm. to what we did.
But were you satisfied at that point then that they had done as much as you had, you and your team had?
Again, we were not privy to their file, but I will say this much, that we felt that we would have covered all of the bases, even with the questions.
You and your team?
Me and my team, even with the questions.
So they showed up at their hands.
That would have taken the police along a path that at some point will bring this investigation to a head. During our meetings with the police, they felt that, we were both on the right track. We were along that lane that they were traveling as well. And so we hope, and it was our intentions to ensure at the end of the day that whatever we provided to the police would have been sufficient of enough support to at least get them thinking and looking along different paths to bring this investigation to a head.
Mr. Dames, obviously your report sat where you left it because it didn't move. This is what the issue is. The police investigation has not moved.
Well, time will tell. The Commissioner assured us that he would meet with us again, and we're holding him to that. We would have given them sufficient of enough time so that we can now re-engage them to see where they are in terms of their investigations as it relates to this matter.
Where do you think the trust is of the police force? And we know a kid can answer it, right? But the point is, the force has been hit hard. It's reeling, in fact, scrambling to try to get back on its feet. Have you ever seen, you are a senior member, a former senior member of the force, a former Minister of National Security. Have you ever seen the force at such a point where it's like buckling under all this pressure, all this harsh glare of the spotlight, negatively, all of it?
Well, really, not only the force, the nation. And I was saddened by the fact that when the initial corruption allegations started to show its head, I believe it was the Prime Minister, the nation's chief, who said that, he can't get involved with the business of the force. And I said to myself, if you're the commander-in-chief of this nation, you have a responsibility to get involved, especially when it comes to the trust of the most important law enforcement organization in your country. All right? And so we're still at this point in this nation where we're seeking answers and we don't have them.
So you feel the Prime Minister, based on the stain that's happened internationally, and nationally there's no regard for law enforcement, he should have played
the Prime Minister and the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's a responsibility. That's your responsibility. See, the vast majority of the officers in the Royal Bahamas Police Force are decent, law-abiding citizens who want to get the job done. But the fact that we're ignoring these allegations, it brings the entire organization under a microscope. All right? And as long as we continue to ignore these allegations, the organization itself will continue to rot from within.
To suffer, because I'll tell you, you see a patrol car now or one of those trucks they drive, and you just feel a suspicion. It is absolutely eroded the trust of Bahamians of when they see those lights going or those uniforms walking by. But yes, go ahead.
This is beyond the force, okay? While there is some blame to be had, this is beyond the force. Our nation's reputation is at stake. And the sad and unfortunate...
It's damaged.
The sad and unfortunate thing is that you have a government who is shift into spin mode. Okay? You can't spin the truth. All right? And the truth now rests in the hands of the most powerful nation in this world. So you can do all your spinning you want to do internally, but at the end of the day, the truth will expose itself. And so we have to come to a point in this country where we have to demand of our government to do its job.
I agree
and its job is not to acquiesce, not to abdicate its responsibility to the commissioner, the assistant commissioner, the deputy commissioners, and rank and file. That's not the job of the government. We have serious allegations being put at the foot of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, at the doorstep of the most important law enforcement organization in this country. And it's unfair to thrust that on the commissioner himself and say, you figure it out.
So the commissioner bears no blame?
No, I'm not saying the commissioner bears no blame. What I am saying here is this problem now has expanded way beyond the organization.
Well, let's talk about beyond the organization.
This is now a national problem.
Absolutely.
All right? That can impact us not only from a crime standpoint, but also from an economic standpoint.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And this is what Bahamians are ignoring. We have to set aside the political games that are being played. All right? Let's call Marvin Dames. Let's call Anthony Ferguson.
Well, Marvin Dames,
Okay?
wait a minute, Marvin Dames, because your name was mentioned. So Commissioner Clayton Fernandez said he must call Marvin Dames because Marvin Dames, that investigation started under your tenure as Minister of National Security. What do you know about the officer who was in charge of the airport, who I understand that you placed there?
When Marvin Dames, I don't transfer officers throughout the Royal Bahamas Police Force. That officer was assigned to the airport long before I got there. Okay, long before I got there, because he was in the business of aircrafts. But let me say this. I served in some of the most critical areas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Okay? Myself and Reginald Ferguson started modern day intelligence in this country. I was in charge of DU and CID or CDU all at one time. I had no difficulties communicating with my foreign counterparts, US, UK, Canadian, or otherwise. And we worked together to address problems that were impacting us in this region and our respective nations. I had no problems getting information.
But were you aware that there was an investigation that started in May of 2021?
I cannot speak to what's going on today. I can't speak to somebody else's investigations. I'm not the person they ought to be speaking to. They ought to be speaking to the Americans. That's who they ought to be speaking to.
So they shouldn't call you, call former Prime Minister Minnis and all these people. They shouldn't call these people, the former other commissioners.
These indictments have been handed down by the United States of America. And no spin here locally is going to change the truth and facts. All right? Between me and my father, we have close to 60 years service in this Royal Bahamas Police Force. All right? My dad served during the time when drugs were being shipped through this region by the tonnage, okay? And we used to hear the horror stories from him, all right? When I joined the force, as I said before, I worked in some of the most sensitive areas of this organization. I still enjoy today good relationships with my friends and colleagues in the United States and other parts of the world. I don't have any problems. I can travel anywhere.
What will
but
you
when
say?
we have issues now, when our government officials are really afraid to hop on a plane and travel to the United States.
Who was afraid? Call names.
Well, I ain't calling no names. I don't have any names to call.
You said they're afraid.
No, I don't have any names to call, but I guarantee you, many of them are beginning to think about it.
Oh, some won't travel.
Many of them are beginning to think about it. But as I said before, you can't spin the truth. And the truth rests in the hands of another nation. All right? And sooner or later, the truth will reveal itself.
Mr. Dames, what will your response be when the commissioner calls you?
What would my response be? What am I going to say? Tell me. What should I say?
We want to know.
What do you know about a foreign investigation? What do I know? Go directly to the source. That's where the answer is. Go directly to the source. Because when I served, the source came to me. All right? When I served, the source came to me. So if the source are not coming to you, the government or the police force, then we have to ask ourselves the question, why?
Why? Wow. Melanie, I want to give you an opportunity for a final comment.
I would just like to say that we will continue to fight for the justice our brother deserves. And if there's anyone under the sound of my voice tonight that has lost a family member, or rather had a family member taken from them as a result of violence, I want to say, do not stop fighting for justice because they deserve it. And whenever you feel like you can't stand anymore, just pray and cry and cry and pray. And all you have to do is stand because God is faithful.
Melanie, our thoughts and prayers with you and your family. Losing a loved one, particularly in such a violent way, is never easy. So we support you in your effort and your fight, your ongoing fight. I also want to thank former Minister of Education. I think he served in other areas as well, but attorney for this family, Jeff Lloyd, in the first segment who appeared. And in this segment, you also saw former Minister of National Security and former Deputy Commissioner of Police investigator for this family in this matter, Marvin Dames. Thank both of them as well for joining us. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to shift gears and we're going to help you get in the festive mood. Listen, the Red Cross puts on the biggest ball there is. Well, they're here to talk about that and much more after this break. This is Beyond the Headlines. We're back right after this.
Bahamas, get ready for an unforgettable night this holiday season. On Saturday, December 28th, we're bringing the love back to the city. It's a night of rhythm and blues featuring the one and only K. Michelle.
What up, y'all? It's your girl K. Michelle. December the 28th, I'm going to be in the Bahamas. I'm coming to sing some songs. Yes, Bahamas, K. Michelle. We gonna light some candles tonight. Very special.
Life Jennings.
Yo, what's up? Nassau, Bahamas. Life Jennings is performing December 28th.
And Jay Holiday.
Yo, what's good, man? It's me, your boy Jay Holiday. I'm going to be performing live on Saturday, December 28th.
At the Nassau Cruise Port. Early bird tickets are now available online. Powered by 103.5 The Beat. Nightlife Entertainment. Alpha Sound Promotions. Free Bands Entertainment. 242 Party and Playhouse.
See y'all. Bahamas, December 28th.
Get ready to win lucky bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down.
The boy hard, beating so hard, I win the hard. What here?
I'm looking for my first contestant to ride in the Lucky Taxi. You walk in the taxi, you gotta do the Lucky Walk, man.
Oh. Thanks. Man, thank you, sir. 85 times 2 is how much, brother? You only win $170, brother.
I never expected to win as much as I win.
Bang along. Very excited when the gentleman picked me to ride inside the taxi.
So if I had to choose a game that would stay, it would be Island of Taxi.
You could be next on the Island Lucky Taxi.
What you doing? Where you at? We got a code that you can crack. With Island Luck, you can win. $1 million. 7 digits, 0 to 9. You could redeem your promo points online. You should be guessing and not stressing. Could be $1 million in your possession. No need to question what's happening. We just made up some games to try to get you some money that'll make it alright. So if you wanna change your life, crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking, y'all. Crack the code and stop joking. If you guess the numbers right, no more stressing. We'll be ballin' tonight, baby. We can make your dreams come true. Play Crack the Code today. Win $1 million only on Island Luck.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Bahamas, get ready for an unforgettable night this holiday season. On Saturday, December 28th, we're bringing the love back to the city. It's a night of rhythm and blues featuring the one and only K. Michelle.
What up, y'all? It's your girl K. Michelle. December the 28th, I'm going to be in the Bahamas. I'm coming to sing some songs. Yes, Bahamas, K. Michelle. We gonna light some candles tonight. Very special.
Life Jennings.
Yo, what's up? Nassau, Bahamas. Life Jennings is performing December 28th.
And Jay Holiday.
Yo, what's good, man? It's me, your boy Jay Holiday. I'm going to be performing live on Saturday, December 28th.
At the Nassau Cruise Port. Early bird tickets are now available online. Powered by 103.5 The Beat. Nightlife Entertainment. Alpha Sound Promotions. Free Bands Entertainment. 242 Party and Playhouse.
See y'all, Bahamas, December 28th.
Get ready to win lucky bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down.
Boy, hard. Beating so hard.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to shift gears this evening, and before we do, I'm going to say hello, of course, to the Bahamas Red Cross. They are here. They're here to share some excellent news, and you know everybody's paying attention at this time of the year. But I want to say, speaking of police, oh Lord, don't they need a little lift up, right? Well, hello and a special welcome who are all watching tonight, and that is the branch in Grand Bahama of DEU officers. They are watching this evening, and it's good to have you all watching. They have reached out, and I just want Constable McDonald, Constable Sands, Inspector Griffin, Superintendent Minnis, outstanding job that they are doing there in Grand Bahama, and also understanding that it's here where they need to be toned in. So hello officers, thank you very much for watching, and thank all of you for watching this evening. It's good to have you tuned in. We are going to welcome the President of the Bahamas Red Cross, Edison Sumner, and Director General Alicia Pinder to this segment of Beyond the Headlines. Good evening to both of you. It's great to have you here. And I'm happy to sort of lighten up the mood after all that in the first two segments and discuss what's going on in the Red Cross.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
That was intense. It was interesting to watch, but
very, very intense. Yeah, absolutely. That family continues to seek justice, you know.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears and let's talk about what the Red Cross continues to do. It's one of the pillars of Bahamian society, really worldwide anywhere, but Bahamian society that continues to stand in and reach out and make a difference in the lives of the needy, those who are hurting, those who end up on hard times, even in times of disaster. Mm-hmm. You all are having several fundraising events that the public looks forward to. It's coming up this weekend, in fact. It's a big weekend with the annual raffle, a mini fair, then a tea party. Edison, let's just jump right in and talk about that and the significance of these events.
Thank you very much, Shanique, and again, it's a pleasure being here. As you said, the Red Cross is the go-to organization in this country. It's the only and chief humanitarian organization in the country, which means that when something happens, whether it's a natural disaster, humanitarian issues, human rights issues, the Red Cross is ordinarily the first place that people call, even the government, because we do act as an auxiliary to the government as well. So this weekend we're having activities to help raise funds to support the work of the Red Cross. We are out there working every single day to support the most vulnerable people in our society, and any support that we can get through our own self-efforts. So we're not just sitting back waiting for donations to come through the door or going to with hands out, but we are actually putting ourselves to work every single day to raise the necessary resources that we need in order to fund and support the work of the Red Cross across the entire country. So this weekend, we are hosting our raffle and mini fair on Saturday at the Aaron Bailey Park. That begins at 12 noon, where we're going to have activities there to accommodate the entire family. It's going to be a mini version of what we do for our fair every year. And at about 6 p.m. on Saturday evening, we're going to be drawing our raffle prizes.
So this is an all-day fun event.
Yes.
And then in the evening, you stick around, you mill about, see friends, have good food, play games. And then in the evening at 6, there's the drawing.
Yes, and at 6 o'clock is when all the adults come out to play. Those ones who come in to find out, did I win a prize? Is my name in the barrel? Am I going to be drawn out of the barrel to get a prize that evening? So it's going to be a fantastic day. And we know that there are other things happening, and the other events that are happening are also supportive of the Red Cross, because even though it's the day of the event, we're going to have our volunteers who are also going to be out at Monarchy Foreshore that entire day, helping to sell tickets and get support from those who will be
Also,
patronizing that event as well.
a couple of things going on at different spots.
Yes, yes, and it's all going to culminate with the raffle that will be drawn around 6 p.m. on Saturday evening at the Billy Park. But let me just say this before I forget, and we do run out of time because my DG is here with us as well. I do want to thank the IL Cares Foundation, Sebastian and his team, who came in this year. I reached out to him and said we needed help with some things, and without hesitation, he came and he sponsored the entire book of prizes this year, including the car. So we're going to be raffling off a brand new 2024 electric vehicle.
Yes, absolutely.
So between the cars, the cruises, the stays at the hotels, the cash prizes, the appliances, the gift vouchers, etc., everything that is on the prize book this year have been donated by IL Cares Foundation. So we once again want to say thank you to IL Cares for stepping up to be a significant partner of the Red Cross in our efforts this year.
Alicia, the good thing is that the Red Cross continues to be an organization that Bahamians love to support in the events that you put on, and obviously even when you call and have outreach initiatives. The Red Cross continues to be that one organization that people don't mind extending themselves to.
Yes, it's pretty incredible. When we appeal to the public, we get overwhelming support. And in this instance, it's not different. We actually are at our best when communities come together and support us, because we are the ones that deal with those who are what we call the most vulnerable. So there are people on our programs who aren't able to prepare a hot meal for themselves on a daily basis. Some of the people that we see...
You still do the daily feeding?
Every weekday we provide meals, and then of course we also give non-perishables for the weekends that you can, bread and other items that you can probably just sustain yourselves during the weekend. We are always grateful for the public because they come to our assistance whenever we call. And this is another instance where we are asking Bahamians to donate. Your donation may be in the form of a raffle ticket or several books. That'll be great. But in essence, what we are doing is making life easier for our communities.
Yes. And let's talk about what's going to be happening, as well as the ticket sales for the raffle that you can go to the Montague Foreshore during the day on Saturday to get, and then obviously head on in the evening to Bailey Park. Let's talk about what else is going to be happening there when people go there to be able to find the where the tickets will be sold, and that they can have obviously support that.
Well, to begin with, we have been and we will continue this week. This week is the last bit effort, so we're going to make it big. We will be around town, Commonwealth Bank, New Oriental, in front of Island Lock, as well as in the mall, Southwest Plaza, Quality
everywhere
Homes.
where people frequent.
Right, and of course Thursday we will be at Montague, the best of the best. So those people who are coming there to have a good time there can also find us there, and they'll be able to make their contributions to this very worthy cause. And then on Saturday, parents can bring their kids out. There'll be a bouncing castle, we'll have food, we'll have corn, and fried chicken wings, all of the things on a minor scale of our fair. But we'll a petting zoo, so we'll have activities
with
there.
animals.
Yes, we invited those vendors who support us during the actual fair to come out. A lot is happening, but don't forget us, because we are the people that support community members that are all around you that need help.
No, you guys absolutely do. You have a reputation for decades for doing that.
Yes, not to mention on Saturday, Shanique, that we're also going to have, apart from the food that DG Pinder spoke about, we're also going to have live entertainment there through the day, especially into the evening time. So it's going to be a lot of live activities there. And it's being done so that we can attract more people to come out to spend time there. Families can come and have a wonderful time. And then, while you're there, spend $5 for a ticket or $50 for a book. and get your name in the drawing, and who knows?
I mean, you could walk away with several prizes.
Several prizes,
you know what I mean?
right?
Listen, the Red Cross they ain't cheap on their prizes, and you heard exactly who sponsored the selection of prizes this year. Let's just talk about Sunday, though, see, because there's a whole weekend of activities, not just for fundraising, but it's fun, and then people looking for some, particularly this holiday season, it's already started, so people are looking for somewhere nice to go. Now, the tea parties are always like the thing. You need your fascinating your gloves, yes? Let's talk about Balmoral and what's going to be taking place there.
Well, the season has officially begun. On Sunday at 2 p.m., we will be at Balmoral for our second annual Christmas tea party. It's a holly jolly Christmas, and you don't want to miss it. Tickets are $75. You can get them from committee members online as well. But you can absolutely stop at the Red Cross location and we will get your tickets then. Ladies, bring your fascinators, your gloves, your best dress.
Your phones fully charged because you know you have to capture each moment.
A lot of pictures. We'll have vendors there with some special items, so we'll talk a little bit more about that at another press event. But we also have vendors that you can get your special, authentic Christmas gifts and notions before the event starts.
And where can persons get tickets for the tea party?
The tea party, you can come to the Red Cross. Raffle tickets as well as tea party tickets, you can come to the Red Cross up to Friday afternoon for raffle tickets and tea party when we close. And afterwards you can get tickets at our various locations. Best of the best, R.M. Bailey Park for your final effort to get in the raffle. Your donations are appreciated.
Absolutely. Once again, the Bahamas Red Cross is making the best of the best even better. They are going to be out there on Thursday selling raffle tickets. You want to step in because, hey, you could be surprised and have your early Christmas present. Also, so that's happening throughout the week. Make sure to get your tickets. On Thursday, you can find that tickets there at Montague Foreshore during the best of the best. Then Saturday, tickets again on sale at Montague Foreshore and right there at R.M. Bailey Park because the drawing happens at 6 in the evening. Then Sunday, the fun continues. Just a little more dressed up this time at the annual Christmas tea party that the Red Cross throws. And this is going to be around the beautiful facility of Balmoral, where you want to dress up, just look very, very British. Have some
very
tea.
Demure.
Very demure, very cutesy, and all the rest of that. But yes, absolutely. So, hey, get on board, guys. Have some wonderful, good, safe, clean fun. The Red Cross has helped making it happen this holiday season while you help make a difference in anyone's life who is in need, and so many people are nowadays. So I want to commend you both and the President and Director General of the Bahamas Red Cross. Thank you both so much and continue the wonderful job you're doing there. Edison Sumner and Alicia Pinder, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
I want to thank our guests at the top of tonight's show, Melanie Hilton, the sister of Giovanni Roll, of course his aunt who joined us, LaShawn Bowe via Zoom, Jeff Lloyd, Marvin Dames, and of course here in this segment, Edison Sumner and Alicia Pinder. I also want to thank all of you this evening for tuning in. We certainly enjoyed having you along, and we look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News, and Beyond the Headlines.